Welcome back, guys. Took a little bit of time off of filming, and of course we all know what happened last year. Lots of boat ramps closed in my state, so didn't get a chance to fish and film as much as I wanted to, and I was happy to upload the one video that I did. Spent most of the winter time this year redoing the boat, making it more functional. I really enjoy building these boats. They're pretty fun to build. And in my area, and the places that I like to fish, you can get away with a 14-foot boat. You really don't need the big old full-fledged bass boat. And had fun doing this build, and I want to share it with you guys. You're sitting on the boat now. I'm leaning on the edge of it. I'll be posting pictures and stuff throughout, kind of talk about how the boat build went and what's underneath the deck and how everything went together. Very, very brief. If you want more detailed sections, I didn't film anything during the build, so you'll have to just deal with pictures of what I've got. But yeah, let's get this underway. Alright guys, well, the hull itself is a 14-foot Starcraft. Not sure of the model. Starting at the back here, we're running a 2012 F20 Yamaha with an 11 pitch stainless prop. That stainless prop's awesome, by the way. This motor moves this boat, I don't know, it's probably about 60 pounds worth of stuff. Or just raw materials in there, not including tackle and not including the battery. This motor pushes me a little over 25 miles an hour on average, depending on where I'm at. On a lake, it's a little quicker. On the river, you know, upriver versus downriver, there's differences there too. So, pretty sweet motor. Got a good deal on it. Got this back piece, opens up for the gas tank, and then side pieces for life jackets and such. Eventually I'm probably going to put an aluminum wall here just to box this in, but seems to work alright, and the life jackets don't slide down underneath or anything. And then of course in my state, and of course check your regulations and stuff, if you're running a gas outboard you have to have a fire extinguisher no matter the size of the boat. Got the same thing on the other side, same type of compartment. This is just a stationary panel. Right here we've got kind of glove box switch panel, fuse panel type deal going on here. Pretty nice. I got this set up to where I believe this is bilge pump, nav lights, and compartment lights. All ran of course to marine grade wire and marine grade switches and all that sort of stuff. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with this compartment yet. The initial idea was like a cooler box, but then again, if you put ice in there you got to have a place for that melted ice to go. So I think I'm probably going to invest in a cooler that'll fit in here with the lid shut, and if I decide to use it I'll use it. If not, then it'll just be blank and open like this. If I remember right, I'm running the Garmin EchoMap UHD 7CV. I don't have side view because I've got it transducers on the trolling motor, so side view would be kind of weird to use on a trolling motor. I didn't invest in another graph because it's a 14-foot boat. I don't think it's quite necessary to be graphing around in your 14-foot boat. And then I got that sucker on the size, I believe, C ram mount this year, which is fun and nice to get it up off the deck and a little more modular. I've got this set here so that if I do have somebody on the back deck and I'm on the front deck, I can just turn this, lean it back, and then both people can see what's going on the graph. On the bow plate, I get a lot of questions on how I did this. It's if you watch any of the tiny boat videos and stuff, I kind of modeled this bow plate very similar to the way that he did his bow plates on a lot of different boats. The only thick enough aluminum I could find in my area that wasn't just price gouging me to death was this sheet of diamond plate. I did cross supports underneath, and of course got cleats for docking. I just riveted 3/16 rivets to the gunnel itself, gunnel of the boat itself, and then ran a piece of 1/16 1.5 angle aluminum across there. That piece is in there pretty tight, so it helps kind of brace this backside so that it can stay open underneath for rod tips and I don't know, sweatshirts or foot pedals and such like that. This is just your run-of-the-mill Minn Kota power drive. I don't think it's a V2. I don't remember. I bought it a while ago. 45 pound thrust, I think 48 inch shaft or 50 inch shaft or something like that. It's the smallest shaft because I'm on a tiny boat. I'm not going to be out there in the waves. There's no reason to be. It's not safe. So this year, put nav lights on the boat as well. So I got the bicolor light, green and red on the front, and then the 360 pole mount on the back. As far as external mods, I believe that's about it. So let's jump inside and we'll go over some of the compartments and rod locker. Alright, so starting right here, already went over these two. Slide this battery charger out of the way. Had the rod locker open kind of like the Falcons do, so I can get stuff in and out. I can be outside the boat and get rods in. I like that way better. So got all my rods in there. I think I'm fitting about 7 rods. The rod locker was an interesting adventure to figure out, nonetheless. Obviously it's my first time ever building this extravagant of a boat, so was only able to fit 5 tubes in there. Kind of screwed up, and I have an extra hole that I can't do anything with because there's not enough room to do it. So casting rods are doubled up in 1.5 inch conduit piping. Flared the end out like they tell you to do on the tiny boat page. Then pour foamed all the tubes, or ran all the way up to the front. They're bent. Pour foamed around them so they don't shift or nothing. I think I got 7 rods in there. That's about, I don't need much more than that. Pretty stoked on that. Pretty stoked on the rod locker. On such a small boat, it's nice to keep the clutter off the deck and still be able to have the things that you want with you at all times. Alright, so moving on from the rod locker, we relocated the battery a little further back behind the center bench seat. In its own compartment, on-off switch is in there, circuit breaker for the trolling motor's in there. Group 24 EverStart deep cycle on-off is right here. Circuit breaker's over there. All marine grade wire, all marine grade connections. I did not skimp on any of that, just simply because boat fires make me nervous. I've never been in one, never want to be in one, so doing what I can to make sure that doesn't happen. Let's turn on the compartment lights so we can see inside the compartments you all want to see inside of. So, got compartment lights in all the compartments. At least 4 of them, I believe, I've got lights in that mean it, that are meaningful to me. Did aluminum sheeting for the walls to save on space. The dry hatching thing I think is really neat, but living where I live, yeah, it's relatively wet most of the year, but I never really had too much of an issue of things getting wet inside my compartments. I don't know why. Water didn't get in, but it didn't seem to really get in, so I didn't invest in the time and effort to dry hatch things, not to mention who really likes to fish in the rain. Storing most of my soft plastics and everything in here is kind of a jumbled mess because I just moved all my stuff in here. Didn't really realize how much space I had gained. Pegboard is empty, essentially. I got all my tackle with me at all times, which is amazing. Running this hatch is all for plastics, and then this next hatch is the planos with the hard baits and the organized stuff and some plastics, because I didn't have enough room in this one for that 3rd crate. So probably going to eventually switch all this stuff over to these Plano edge boxes. I really like them, But that's literally all the tackle I own is inside my boat, which is awesome. I didn't realize I made that much space for everything. And then I made these 2 side compartments thinking I might need them for plastics or something, but right now they're just being used for ropes and straps and extra stuff. There'll probably be a toolkit that I make and store in here. I got this one on a shock because the gap from here to here is big enough to fit the shocks that I bought. Did slam latches. This one kind of stands open on its own, so the boat blanket's in here for them cold days, or if the woman decides to come with me, she can hang out, or the dogs can hang out with the blanket as well. Again, slam latch, pretty deep compartment. It's got its own light in there. So yeah guys, I'm pretty proud of this build. It took me about 3 months or so to get it for the most part fishable. There's still a few things I'd like to do, and covering up the aluminum with something that's a little more decorative and finished looking. If I decide to do it, I'll do it. It's not necessary, of course. It's more of an aesthetic thing. I'm happy with the boat build. I'm hoping that you guys think it's awesome, and I'm excited to try. I know every year I get on here and post a video and say I'm going to try and film more. Figuring out YouTube is an interesting adventure, and I really want to invest a little more time into it. So this year I vow to try and make at least more than 1 video for the year. Thanks for the new subscribers. I got 3 new subscribers here in the past month. Thanks for subscribing, and all the guys, of course, that have subscribed over time. I'm not looking to make this a great big old YouTube channel that makes a bunch of money or anything. I just do it for fun. I have a day job. I enjoy that day job. So thanks for subscribing, and thanks for watching, and I hope you love the boat build. If you have any questions, you can direct message me on Instagram, Bassin Northwest or BassinNW. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Tight lines, everybody.
This is too much fun. Solid chunks, dude.